Yo, what's happening, guys? Hope everyone had a good weekend. As you can see, the markets are super green going into the weekly close. So I want to speak about exactly what's happening on the altcoin market. We will speak a little bit about Bitcoin, but I want to speak about Ethereum and a couple tokens that I'm looking at for the current week. Okay, so obviously yesterday the market was looking super nice. We did jump in a few longs on the Telegram group yesterday. So still in I'm still in one position. I will speak about what I'm going to do about that position, but let's get straight into it. And yeah, let's speak about what's happening in the market. So as you can see, guys, looking at the heat map, Ethereum's up almost 8%, Solana's up 6%, XRP pumped 1% yesterday, but actually pumped around about 9 to 10% on Saturday. So a lot of tokens are looking really, really good. BNB also pumped around about 4% throughout the weekend. So a very, very nice little move to the upside. So I want to speak about what is my plan. Are we actually going to continue going higher, or let's chat about it. So first of all, I want to quickly look at Ethereum just to show you exactly what my plan is for the day. Okay, because we do know that Mondays typically let's grab it here. Let's grab ETH. Mondays are typically like a fake out. So if we're in a bullish market, basically, we might potentially see a pullback and then get a push to upside. So if we look at ETH, ETH broke out on Saturday, right? Or Sunday morning. And I was saying if price can actually close back above like this previous high, then this is confirmed break of structure. We could see price going higher, okay? So just looking at this chart right now, I can see that, okay, there is a potential that we do tap this level at around about 4,292 before we come down. Okay, so that is an option, right? That is a potential move that could happen, but I would like to see price come down and tap this level before I jump into longs, right? So I'm not long on ETH now. I'm long on a couple other tokens, but ETH longs I would be looking at if price can come back down and potentially retest this level. We have not retested this level. We have multiple rejections from the zone. So this is now support, right? So if price could come down to this level, I will be looking at a potential long. But like I said, entering a long now is just, you just really can't do anything. The reason why is because we have this massive gap over here. So, price does need to close above this level currently, literally the level that it's currently at now. It needs to start closing above that level to see continuation. So if we do see price get rejected here, we could even look at like a potential sell, like on the lower time frames. You can see right now that, something like this could happen, right? We could actually just break this low over here, and then we could potentially look at potential sells all the way back down to that 4,100 level over here, right? 4,092. Okay, so that is a potential move to for Ethereum, but I'm not really interested in sells when we're in this type of market, which is why I'm going to go over some other setups. Okay, so ETH right now, hard to do anything. I'm personally just going to wait to see if price can come down and tap these zones, because there's a lot of other setups that are actually looking juicy, right? So the next setup that we actually took this weekend, right? We took this on, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, we took this yesterday. We had a beautiful 4-hour breakout here, guys. Beautiful 4-hour breakout retest, and then we entered on that 4-hour close, and we've hit TP1 this morning. See, there is a potential like we can get rejected from these zones, right? So stop loss is at break even. I still expect price to continue higher. We haven't really retraced much, so there's a potential that we do come down and retrace, but SWE looking very, very good for continuation to the upside, right? Remember, guys, a lot of tokens are still, they're pumping 10 to, like, some tokens like Hype, we're going to go over, we took a trade on Hype as well, but some tokens have pumped 10 to 15%, but they're still literally so low, right? Look at this. This move over here was like 8%, but it doesn't look like that because it's so low and it's so undervalued. So there's still a lot more upside for alts. I want to speak about why I think so. We'll have to go through Bitcoin dominance in just a sec, but honestly, guys, I think we are getting a potential move to upside here for most tokens, because ETH did actually break structure, which was what I was waiting for, which is looking super juicy. Okay, then another token that I'm actually looking at for long stay is Atom. Okay, so the problem is right now, guys, there's a high probability that we do get rejected from these levels, because everything's at key zones. So like if you look at Atom, for example, we in this fair value gap, we did break trend, but the problem is entering off this level here just doesn't make sense, because we did break these highs over here, but we still have lots of selling pressure within the zone. So I would want to see price start closing above the zone, then I take the longs. Okay, so I want to see price take out that level first, and then we look for potential longs. So this is on my radar today for Atom. I'm looking at a 20% move to the upside, potentially, right? Obviously to here it's a little bit less. You'd look at around about 11%. Okay, so Atom is looking kind of good for a move today. Maybe it won't happen today, maybe tomorrow, but this is on the radar for a trade. Okay, then the other trade that I didn't take it, but I did highlight it to you guys in the group, is BNB. It played out perfectly. We closed above that level, we got rejected, and then we continued higher here. So BNB is also another token that's just looking super juicy. Got the 4-hour time frame to close back above all of these highs over here to the left hand side. Just looking super good right now. We do have a lot of liquidity to the upside, as you can see. So there's a high probability that BNB has a move as well, right, to the upside. Okay, so, and you guys are probably wondering, how would you know that we're going to go higher here? So what I like to do is I like to see, okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, we're obviously holding this high, right? Very strong level. You can see multiple rejections within the zone on the 15 as well. Then we go down to like the 5 or the 3 minute, and you can start to see like on these lower time frames, we're starting to see like a bit of structure, right? And basically what I like to see is I want to see some type of move to the upside. So I know right now that we have this trend, right? We do have this trend line right over here, but the problem is the whole thing with trend lines is a lot of people don't actually use them properly, because the thing is with trend lines, you also have to break structure. Obviously this is bullish structure, so this wouldn't matter, but in terms of like if we're in like a bearish market, like just think about it, right? So like for example, if prices coming down like this, making lower highs and lower lows, and then basically we have this trend, right? Think about it, right? We have this trend, we're in a bearish market, and then let's just say we break out of this trend. Okay, we break out of this trend, but we don't break this previous high. Okay, so we break out of this trend, we retest this level, and then there's a high chance, sorry, this is a bit high, there's a high chance that we can still get rejected from the zone. So my whole thing is, we can break trend, but if we can also close above that previous high, that would make it a lot better in terms of getting positions, because then we have a higher low, and structure is intact for bullish momentum. So the thing is, right now this is fine because we are in like bullish structure. So break of trend is fine, but in terms of like Ethereum, for example, right? Let's have a look at ETH when we broke that trend. Okay, so this was my whole thing. Like we broke trend over here, but we still below this high, right? So I wanted price to close above this high first, and then we look for continuation, right? So that's why I'm only really focused on these longs if we get the retest here. Okay, so that's kind of my thoughts for ETH. I do think there's a possibility we come down over here today. So I'm waiting to see if we can break this level over here, and then I would be looking for sells all the way back down to these levels. Okay, but I'm not really interested in sells just because of how the market's looking right now. I'd rather be looking at buys for the day. Okay, and then hype absolutely rips. Have a look at this setup. Here we go. We got in a very juicy position here. There we go. Our entry was flawless, right? So basically with hype, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see what I was waiting for is I wanted price to close above this level here. Okay, so there was this bearish fair value gap over here, and what I was waiting for is I was just waiting for price to take out this level here. We got a bullish close over here, and we entered off that level. I actually closed at 44.5. I should have left some open. I didn't think it would pump that hard, but yeah, hype's looking super good. Back to almost $50. So hype also one of those tokens. I've been raving about hype for a long time. I think that hype is going to do really roll this within the next couple of months. So right now we can't really do anything. It's already overextended to the upside, but we did get a nice little setup on the weekend. This was a nice little Saturday trade, right? We entered on Saturday in the morning, and then just absolutely ripped. So that was beautiful. And then I just want to quickly speak about Bitcoin dominance quickly, guys. So this is like my whole thoughts. If we look at the monthly chart, I did post this in the Telegram group, but if we look at the monthly chart, guys, the monthly chart did break this trend line, but we didn't break this previous support. But if you look at this this current month over here, we've got 4 days. We did retest this trend line, and it's looking like we do want to come down lower. If you look at the structure, alt season is still, still potentially could happen, right? I'm not saying that it will, but there is a potential that a Bitcoin dominance does come down to around about 43%, right? There's a high chance that that's possible, right? All we need to do is just break this previous low. If we can break this previous structure over here, then we can potentially look at a nice little altcoin season. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit of a waiting game, but overall Bitcoin dominance is looking more on the bearish side right now than what it used to look like, right? So I don't want to just say it's altcoin season right now, but yeah, same thing with total 3. We spoke about this as well. I want to look at others as well, because if you look at the others charts, I want to show you guys something really important. I don't know which one it is. I'm pretty sure I did analysis in this. Let me just grab it. Yeah, have a look at this. Look how beautiful this is. So I spoke about this, right? So it's the RSI. Let me chuck it in here. I don't really trade RSI, but in terms of for simplicity, yeah. So basically, if we look at the COVID-19 crash, right? So back in the day, it was 2020, right? 2019, 2020. So basically, if you look at structure within the RSI, price actually, let me just remove this yellow line. It's very annoying. It's the base to MA. Yeah, so basically this structure over here, once we actually broke out in terms of the RSI, you can see we had a massive run, right? That was at that bull run back in the day, right? For the altcoins, okay? And right now it's forming similar type of structure, right? And basically that liquidity crash over there is similar to the one that we had the other day on October 10th, right? With the whole tariff news, right? With Trump and China. It does look like they are sorting out a deal, so it's more on the bullish side. But yeah, that was a crazy day. But basically, what I'm looking at is if we can just break out on this RSI on the monthly, others does have potential to go higher, right? I'm not saying that it's over. There is potential to get a breakout here, but if we start closing below this level, then I do think that altcoin season would be, in fact, not a thing. Okay, so personally, looking at the weekly, that's a beautiful retest, right? A beautiful weekly closure on the others chart. So overall structure looking good. Monthly chart still holding. If we get a breakout within this month, we still have 4 more days, right? So there could be a potential RSI shift. And then October, November could be a good month. Yeah, so this is something to watch. It's quite a nice little chart to look at, and it shows you the correlation throughout back in the day. Okay, so for the current week, I don't have that many setups lined up because we already got the move this weekend, so it's super hard to just take longs right now. Taking longs off the rip where there was no pullback is just kind of a bit of a gamble. So I'd rather wait for some type of a pullback or like some type of range, right? Because now that we have like this bullish structure, this is when my type of strategy works really well. Because as you know, my strategy is more like a breakout strategy. So when we kind of just like not really doing anything, I can't really trade. Like I don't really do SFP. I don't really trade SFPs or anything like that. I normally trade breakouts, which is why only some type of market my strategy works. So like this type of market will work really well because basically we got the breakouts and now we're going to start forming ranges, or we're going to start consolidating downwards, and we can start trading back to the upside. Okay, so if we somehow like for Ethereum, for example, right, let's go back to ETH. So for ETH, basically if we can start coming down, coming back down here and start forming like a bit of a range, and then there will also be like a trend line, right? There'll be something like this where, let's just say, for example, if we do come down to there'll be like this trend line, and price hits this level, we break above trend, we take the longs all the way back up to the top, right? So that's kind of what I'm going to wait for today. I'm not really interested in taking anything until we get these confirmations. I'm still in the sweet trade, so I'm pretty happy sitting over here, comfortable with that. I'm going to wait for Atom. I do think that Atom can play out, guys. Atom's also really oversold, so I do want to see price take out this level. So this is more of a breakout trade. We can potentially take most of the profits off over here and then look for a retracement back to that level and play the breakout again. So you can potentially get 2 trades off this level. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for the day. It's a bit of a waiting game right now. This weekend was pretty much the way to trade. The Monday today looks a little bit like, you know, we could potentially go higher, but we can also come down. So I'm just going to be patient and wait for confirmation on that, and then just play the ranges. So yeah, let's see what happens. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I hope you guys did take the trades with me this weekend. It was a beautiful weekend for trading. I wasn't on my laptop that much because I was a little bit busy, but I'm happy we did actually catch those 2 setups. So yeah, make sure you guys do like the video and subscribe. I will be posting again tomorrow. And the live streams are going to start from the 1st. No, it will probably be the 3rd because I'm moving in on the 1st, right? So I'm still trying to sort out everything, and it's super hard right now with I don't have all my equipment. So once I'm sorted on this weekend, by Monday we're going to be live streaming every day. Not every day, sorry, 3 times a week again. And I will be constantly doing updates on the market. Okay. So I do appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much for being here. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please share it to your mates, and also give it a like. That would be amazing. I appreciate it. Peace out.